You're watching Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Today's show is presented by Aura, the all-in-one digital safety company. We'll tell you more about what they do coming up later in the show. You can start your 14-day free trial now at aura.com/chatsports. On today's show, we will catch you up to speed with the latest on Seahawks Minicamp, where things stand out right now with some new developments with the Seahawks. But before we do, today is a very nice day. Today's date is the 6/9 day, and I got to tell you, I'm feeling pretty nice. I hope you're having a nice day as well. So with that being said, let's all type nice in the comments section just to celebrate and hope that we all have a good June 9th and enjoy ourselves today. And I hope it's just a nice day for everybody. No particular reason. So go ahead and let's just get this show started with typing nice in the comments. All right, so first off, Jamal Adams and Quandre Diggs. Good news for the Seahawks. Both those guys returned to Seahawks workouts after the surgeries that they suffered. Not a full go for either one of the Seahawks safeties, but nonetheless, they participated in walkthroughs. Let's start out with Jamal Adams. And if you recall, he had two fingers on his left hand fused. Adams, he said, God is good, man, I'm back, I'm feeling good, just going to take it day to day and obviously be ready for training camp. He says that everything right now physically is good to go, that he is completely healed up, he's ready to go. Obviously, with this being minicamp, there's no reason to rush him returning, and so they are taking things easy. But nonetheless, Jamal Adams is in the building, in the facility, and he says he's all good to go. Now, let's go to Quandre Diggs, the update on him. This offseason signed a new 3-year, $40 million deal, and he said, I feel like I keep getting disrespected in all-pro voting, so I'm going to go out there and do it this year. Now, he's coming off a situation where he had surgery on a broken fibula and dislocated ankle. So not only do we see Quandre Diggs coming in with a chip on his shoulder, but also coming in off of two injuries. And one thing to keep in mind, with this new scheme that the Seahawks are running this year, I think that Adams and Diggs both will be a great fit in this new scheme for the Seahawks. Diggs, he said the defensive scheme will be similar to what he did during his first 3 years in the NFL when he was in Detroit, while Adams said it has similarities to what he did in college during his days at LSU. So these guys should be able to jump in right away and excel in this new defensive scheme. And we've talked about it. I have said it many times that I think the Seahawks have the best safety combination in the NFL. And so if you are going to give these guys something that plays to their assets, then watch out. The sky's the limit for these two in 2022. I'm excited for what they can do. Our question today, our pinned comment is this the best safety duo in the NFL? Quandre Diggs and Jamal Adams? Let me know in the comments section. I have a feeling I know what the answer is. So I give you two friendly options. Type Y for yes, type HY for hell yes if you think this is the best safety duo in the NFL. You're about to get an ad break. Take advantage of it while the ad's playing. Get your votes in. Type Y for yes, type HY for hell yes if you think this is the best safety duo in the NFL. All right, we have an update on the quarterback rotation for the Seahawks in minicamp. Geno Smith has been getting first-team reps, while Drew Lock is leading the second team right now. And I have some quotes that I want to get to as far as how Drew Lock has looked, and also from Geno Smith speaking publicly for the first time since his DUI arrest as well. We'll get to those in just a second, but before we do, let's tell you about Aura, the newest partner here at Chat Sports, the all-in-one digital safety company for the family. And just for my Seahawks Today viewers, we are offering a 14-day free trial if you go to aura.com/chatsports. Now, you may be saying to yourself, well, what is Aura? Why should I sign up? Well, you're going to get near real-time alerts on suspicious credit inquiries. You can keep your identity secure with extensive monitoring of your personal info. And on top of that, you can shop, bank, work online more safely and privately with Aura. And you're going to keep your family safe from online hackers. A couple of years ago, my debit card got hacked. I had no idea. My bank did not tell me till months after the fact. If I would have had Aura, I would have found out right away. So get Aura right now, 14-day free trial to protect you and your loved ones, whether it's online or at the grocery store. They got you covered on all fronts. Aura.com/chatsports for your free 14-day trial. So here's what the Seattle Times had to say about Drew Lock, how he's looked so far in these practices. Lock has had an interesting two-play sequence during a late 7-on-7 goal line drill this week. He first misfired on a slant pass to Lockett, who was open in the end zone, and tried to reach back to get the pass, but couldn't, with Lock quickly hitting his chest to indicate he knew it was his fault. On the next play, Lock initially found no one open and rolled out to the sideline to buy time, and then fired a pass in the back of the end zone caught by a diving Cody Thompson for a touchdown, a play that drew loud cheers from the rest of the offense. So there's one there on Drew Lock, and if you recall, back in the OTAs, there was a lot of hype about Drew Lock, that people in the organization liked what they saw, as he had one practice where he threw 5 touchdown passes, and you can see that he's extending plays a bit. So that's a good sign. Now, Geno Smith, we heard him speak for the first time on his DUI that he got a while back, and I don't know how many people know this, but Geno Smith could face a 3-game suspension. That could still happen here. So while, of all things, we focus on this quarterback competition, we could see a situation of maybe Geno Smith wins the job, but he's suspended the first 3 games. That's possible because this is his first offense. He can't get suspended more than that. But he talked about the situation for the first time publicly, and he said, those things will get worked out. I'm extremely confident in all those things. Those things, they have a timeline, and they have to get worked out, but I don't see any problem. So Geno Smith feels pretty good. He thinks that he's going to be fine without any suspension, it would seem, but I'll believe it when I see it from the NFL, what they decide one way or the other. Now, here's the thing. These guys are not just competing with each other. While Baker Mayfield still remains available, and Jimmy Garoppolo and some of these other veterans, the quarterback competition is not just about being better than the other one. It's about proving that Seattle does not need to make a move for another veteran quarterback. That is the situation that these guys have to keep in mind, that this quarterback competition, although from a surface level looks like 2 guys, it's really bigger than that. And this is their chance to prove that they don't need to bring in another guy, that either one of these guys are good enough, and we'll see. Now, will we see Geno Smith or Drew Lock start week 1? Will one of those guys be the starter when it's all said and done? Want to hear from you guys in the comments section. Type 1 for yes, type 0 for no if you think it's going to be Geno Smith or Drew Lock starting week 1 for Seattle. A couple updates on the no-shows. Obviously, no DK Metcalf as he is going through that contract situation and the injury that he's rehabbing in Los Angeles. Not excused, but has not shown up. Chris Carson also not around as well. And we'll have more on that in just a second and how that affects Rashaad Penny. Also, Will Dissly not showing up to minicamp. And for the Seahawks right now, there's also a wide receiver shortage. Not only do you not have DK Metcalf at camp right now, but D. Eskridge was not around, undisclosed, and a couple injuries involved for the Seahawks team with Derek Young and Bo Melton, 2 of the 7th-round selections for the Seahawks at that wide receiver position. So, pretty interesting. In minicamp, we're already talking about a shortage of receivers at this point. Not the news I wanted to give you, but it's what's going on nonetheless. Nonstop Seahawks coverage for free right here on the channel each and every day on Seahawks Today. Make sure you are subscribed now. Turn on those notifications as well as we cover this team throughout the entire offseason, counting you down to kickoff. Subscribe now. You will not regret it. YouTube.com/Seahawks TV. That's YouTube.com/Seahawks TV. Now, Chris Carson, his future, I think, is likely going to be decided at training camp. Pete Carroll said several times earlier this year that we would not likely know if Carson could play in 2022 until training camp, until pads are on Chris Carson, to see if he's fully up to speed after that injury last year, and also if the Seahawks want to pay him that money, if they feel like they need him to be on that roster when you already have Rashaad Penny and your second-round draft pick, Kenneth Walker III, also there. More on Rashaad Penny in just a second and how Chris Carson affects that, but I want to hear from you guys. What's the chances Chris Carson makes this team? Type 1 through 100 in the comments. Put a number on it, maybe 69 for today. Whatever it may be, put a number on it, what you think the chances are of Chris Carson is to make this Seahawks final roster. Now, Rashaad Penny, with Carson's future remaining unclear and not being around, not showing up, he's been unseen so far at this point. There's been a lot of talk about Rashaad Penny this week, and he spoke out and said, I feel amazing. This is the best I've ever felt. I'm excited about this year and can't wait to get going. He's on a one-year, $5.7 million deal. And for me, I think Rashaad Penny is in kind of a prove-it situation. We've seen him have some glimpses of success before. You look at the numbers. His first 32 games of his career were nothing to write home about, with just over 900 yards and 5 touchdowns. But the way that he finished 2021 with, in a 5-game stretch, 671 yards, 6 touchdowns, and that average of 7.3 yards per carry, he could be something special. And I think the Seahawks want to see more of that if he is going to be the bell cow for this Seahawks team in 2022 and compete with Kenneth Walker for those the carries for the workload. He's going to have to do more what he did in those last 5 games of this year. That remains to be seen and will be an interesting story to follow for the Seahawks here in 2022.